Hello and welcome back to the Hikeaholics channel. Today we've arrived in Suffolk and we're in the village of Kessingland today, and we're here to do a 4.6 mile circular walk, and we've just turned off the high street in Kessingland and we're now parked up in a little car park near a playing field, and this road is called the Avenue. So we're now going to leave the car. So we have the Workingmen's Club in front of us and we want to be taking the left and heading for the high street. As you can see, the Spar is straight out in front there, Spar shop, and we'll be going straight over onto Church Road. So we're now leaving the avenue and going straight over here to Church Road. Obviously, if you want to pick up a drink or something to eat before you set off on your walk, that shop is very handy. Sign in the front, as you can see, Church Road. We've just arrived at the end of Church Road, and you'll want to be going more or less straight over. If you can see the road in front there. Church Road also continues down to the left. So we've now stepped onto Cooper's Lane. I'll just show you the road sign. So we'll be following this down for quite a way. It is tarmacked for the first part, and then it'll go to gravel or dirt. So out walking today, there's me. So that's Chay. Out in front there, you can see Lee and Nutty Nanny. If we pan to the right here, you just get your first glimpse of the wind turbines here in Kessingland. The one there sits in Kessingland Zoo car park, so you can get your bearings of where we're walking. And as we come past this hedgerow in front here, if we look back to our left, you'll see the church. I'm unsure if you can see the bird in front, but I think he's stalking his prey here. We'll slow down and let him do his business. No, I think he's give up. So I'll just turn and give you a shot of the church. You can see the tower there above the tree line there. So as I said earlier, this is a 4.6 mile circular walk around Kessingland. We will be going on the beach also, and after the beach we'll then be heading towards the A12, and we will be crossing the A12 and walking through a couple of fields, and then we'll come back on ourselves and recross the A12 and head back into Kessingland. So we've now come off Cooper's Lane, so we're off the tarmac now and we're on to dirt track now. Just got some information to tell you. If you wish to know where the car park is situated, all you have to do is look in the video description and you'll find the postcode there. And also in the video description you'll find a written full guided walk of this route to follow. So coming up here on the right used to be an old footpath that they're now closed off, but we wouldn't want that one anyway. We just carry on straight down, and we'll keep carrying on straight down. We do come to, I believe there's a little mini crossroads coming up, but we're straight over that one as well, but I'll show you that when we get there. So we're now coming up to that little sort of mini crossroads that I talked about, but we're straight over, so nice and simple. So we're still on that path, still heading towards Marsh Lane. I'll give you a pan right, give you a view across the fields here. There's a couple of strange looking hikers there. So we're now coming off one path and now we're on to Marsh Lane. And we'll walk a little bit further down here, and Marsh Lane will veer to the right, and we'll follow that to the T-Junction, and we'll take another right. So coming up here in front is where we veer right on Marsh Lane still. If you were to head straight up down the footpath there, you would arrive at Beach Car Park. So you can also park there if you wish and start your walk here. There's plenty of places where you can park. So out in front here now, we'll come to a T-Junction, and this is going to take us back on to Church Road. And we'll be taking a right here at the end and following the road down to the seafront. So we've just turned right now, and we're now on Church Road. So we nearly arrived at the seafront here, and on our right is the Sailors' Home pub. Lovely place to stop here. It's a nice beer garden out the back there to sit and have your beer. There's also a coffee shop stroke cafe on the right down here. So we're going to be taking a left towards Pakefield. And on your right here, before we turn, there's the cafe, and there's some public toilets. Right. We're going to walk along the beach. So we're now following this concrete path here. We do end up walking onto a bit of beach, but it is all duny, so it's not too sandy at all. As you know at Kessingland here, or if you don't know, the sea is quite a distance that way. So we'll be going up some steps and joining back up to the village when we leave the beach eventually. But as you can see, the concrete path goes on for quite a while here. We don't walk too far on the dunes. You might get lucky and you may see some wildlife. So we've just stepped off the concrete path and we're now walking across the beach and the dunes here at Kessingland. Up ahead will be our steps that we need to take us up the cliff here. So we've arrived at the steps that we need. We've not long left the concrete path, so you don't have to walk too far before you find these steps. And at the top here we want to be taking a right on Green Lane. So I'm halfway up the steps and I've just turned around to give you the last view over Kessingland Beach here. Very quiet this morning, very beautiful. So now arrived at the top of the steps. So as I said, head straight down and onto Green Lane and take a right. Oh, there's a little sign here, I'll just show you that. Not that we're really following these. Suffolk Coastal Path sign. So we've now arrived at Green Lane here, and this is where we want to be taking a right at the T-Junction. We want to carry on straight on onto the tarmac road out ahead. So we're now stepped onto the tarmac and we're now going to be leaving Green Lane, and the road we're now going to be, we're walking straight out, but this road now that we're on is North Cliff. And I believe when I've walked this route before, you want to be following the signs to the red house, which is not actually red no longer, I don't believe. On the left here, as you can see on the bins here, the red house. You know you're definitely going in the right direction then. So this in front is the so-called red house. Not so red anymore. We want to be taking a left just before that. So left past the gates here. This can sometimes be slightly overgrown with a few stinging nettles or brambles, but it's never too bad. Okay, so here we have another T-Junction, this footpath here. You want to be taking your right, or straight on more or less. So I've just stepped out of the little woodland area, and as you can see over there, that's Kessingland village. You can see the tower there of the church in the distance. The two wind turbines are behind the trees here. You can see the houses in the distance. They're on London Road. That's the road we're heading for, and we need to be crossing over. And London Road, if you continue down London Road, that joins straight onto the High Street. And obviously we turned off the High Street to park up at the avenue. There are a couple of turnings here on this path, but we don't need any of them. We just need to carry straight on the path. Well, we nearly lost Nutty Nanny. She fell down a hole there. I don't know how she managed to fall down a hole. Are you alright? So here's one of them turnings off here that I mentioned, and this one is for the Suffolk coastal path, but we don't want that. Remember I said we want to carry straight on. So we'll continue on to London Road. We're still on that footpath, heading towards London Road and heading towards the houses. That's the direction you want to be heading for. So here we are, we've finally reached London Road. This is where we'll be taking a right turn and following the footpath down for a short while. So on the left, out in the distance there, you can see a horse sign, and further on from that you can see a bike blue sign. That's where our turning is, left. We'll be following a bridle way there. Okay, so we're going to cross over the road here at the blue cycle sign. This is where that left turn is. As you can see, footpath sign over there in the hedge. Go round the gate here and follow the path. So we're now veering to the right here. So on your left you'll be walking past this derelict building here. You can see public footpath sign there as well. So keep following it straight down. So out in front here we have a T-Junction again, and we're back onto a concrete path. I believe there's a farm to your right, but we want to be taking the left and heading towards the A12. And here, following this concrete footpath, we'll actually walk underneath the A12. So we're just going to turn this corner and you'll see the underpath, and you can obviously hear the cars motoring along the A12 here above us. This bit just winds round and climbs up an incline, and then we'll be out walking across some fields. So we've now arrived at the top of that incline, and as you can hear, we're still by the A12, but we're now going to be pulling away. So we're now stepped off the concrete, and as you can see, we're on a grass track here. And out in front here we've been making a little tiny turn. There is a turn right and one sort of slightly left and straight on. That's the one we want to take, the left and straight on. But I'll show you the footpath sign. That's the one you want to be following. So here we are, that's that footpath sign. You can see which direction that tells you to go. So more or less straight on. There is a right, but we don't want that. So you want to just veer your left So as we set out across the field here, you can see Lee and Nutty Nanny out in front there, and the tree directly in front of them is where we're heading. To the right of the tree there, we'll find a bridge. We'll need to cross over that and take a left and walk down the edge of the field. So here we are, we've finally reached the bridge here. So we want to be taking a left after entering this field. So we're now going to switch over to the other side of the hedgerow into the other field, but carrying on straight down. So keep going straight down until you arrive at the next field, and then I'll explain more. So we've now arrived at the bottom of the field, and I said I'll give you an update when we get here. So the tree line ahead is where we're heading for, and there is a gap in the wooden fence. So you can see the telegraph poles there in front. Just to the right hand side of that is where you'll find the opening to cross the A12, and this time we don't go under, we actually have to cross the A12 road, so be very careful on this part. So here we are at the entrance here, and the A12 is straight in front. We're all good to cross. So straight over we go. I'll just give you a shot to the right here. You can see the wind turbine down there. So cross straight over onto the footpath once more. You want to follow that right back into the housing estate. We'll walk behind the houses here down the passageway. So we're now getting closer to the end of our walk. Out in front is the avenue where we've parked today. So on the right here is the men's shed here. So I hope you've enjoyed today's walk. If you've liked it, please like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot. So I'll say goodbye now, and that'll be goodbye from Lee and Nutty Nanny too.
Goodbye.
We'll take you to where the car's parked. We'll finish up there. So you want to be taking a right on the avenue, and the little car park is just in front. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.